Hey, Canucks fans, I wanted to give you a different perspective. My perspective on what happened that fateful day 10 years ago today. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, June the 15th. This is where you get Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. We know what today is. We know it's the 10th anniversary of the day, the evening that Vancouver Canucks lost Game 7 to the Boston Bruins, and they lost by a score of 4-0. Now, I was at the arena that evening. It was my first year of being a Canucks season ticket holder. So I wanted to share my unique perspective of not so much the game itself. You can look up highlights. There weren't a lot of highlights for the Canucks. You can look up game highlights. You can look up, you know, what happened after the game in the arena. I want to talk about what it was like being in the arena and then leaving to go through the streets of downtown. So I parked my car at my work. At that time, my office was at Robson and Cambie, had free parking. So I was kind of like on the outskirts of, right next to BC Place. So that end of Robson Street. And then it made for a nice, quick and easy walk to and from the game. Game itself, the Canucks lose 4-0. I'm there with my season ticket partner, Mike, of course. And then after the game, we stayed to watch the festivities. As much as we hated seeing Zdeno Chara skate around Rogers Arena ice, lifting the cup, as much as we hated Tim Thomas being named the Conn Smythe winner as the MVP, as much as we hated seeing Gary Bettman address the Vancouver crowd and award the Stanley Cup, still, we were witnessing history, and there's a good chance we may never see a Stanley Cup, trophy presentation again. So we stayed. And we stayed for a good hour or so. We moved from our seats up top. We met some friends down below who were at the game. So we watched basically everything for about 45 minutes to an hour after the final whistle. And then we watched everything from the lower bowl. As I'm watching the celebrations, my phone starts to go off and blow up, not literally, but figuratively in my pocket. And most of the messages were from friends, but a lot from my wife, Gail. And she said, Clay, be careful when you leave the arena. So then I didn't call her. I just texted her back. I said, why? And she said, because they're starting to riot. They're starting to loot. They're starting to be violent outside. So already I was, I had no reason not to believe her, but I couldn't picture it. Here we're watching this euphoric celebration, people smiling, hugging, crying, cheering, all these things. And I had no clue what I was going to face when I left the arena. So we left the arena very carefully, the four of us, me, Mike, and our two friends. And then we came out the Georgia Street, Rogers Arena is between Georgia and Dunsmuir. So we came out the Georgia Street exit and we came across the Georgia Viaduct or next to it. And then I could see down the road a few blocks the post office. And that was one of the places where they originally had a large gathering of people where they started to light cars on fire and that was one of the home bases, and they started to move throughout downtown Robson Street and Georgia Street and start to loot and vandalize. But the closest I got was maybe 1 or 2 blocks, because I saw the police presence. They were on all corners. I saw a lot of them starting to move towards that area. I heard cheering and yelling and things breaking. And, just you guys have all seen the footage of that night. So I saw what was happening. I got within 1 block of it, and then I turned left on Homer or Hamilton. I can't remember which one. Back down to Robson, another left, and then into my car. And then I was home by about 9. Yeah, I was home by about 10 o'clock, because the game ended at 8. The game started at 5, so it ended around 7:45 local time. And then I was in the arena for about an hour, and then I took about half an hour to take a walk through downtown and then start to feel the unrest. And then I made it back to my office around 9:30, and then I drove home. So what was crazy is, after a record-breaking season, right, President's Trophy, the Vancouver Canucks, they came up 1 game short of winning the first Stanley Cup in their 40-year, at the time, now 50-year, but 40-year history. But the crazy thing is the disappointment and the sadness that came from losing the game and the series, it paled in comparison to what I was seeing on the streets of downtown Vancouver. And yes, it was supposed to be the most memorable game in history. and yet I was filled with such sadness and a void. And for fun, I want to take you through my Facebook status updates. This is June 15th, 2011, so exactly 10 years ago today. 7:56 p.m., a very bitter and disappointing end to an outstanding and memorable season. Proud of the team. Thanks for a thrilling ride. 4 months until we do it all again. 9:21 p.m., thank you, family and friends, for your calls, texts, and messages concerned for my safety. So far, so good. I made it back to my office. We'll be leaving to drive home in about half an hour. I'm most appreciative of your thoughtfulness, yet embarrassed for what's happening downtown. 9:35 p.m. Amazing. With all the attention on the rioting, the Canucks failing to win the Stanley Cup is secondary. 10:05 p.m. The sweet aroma of tear gas. I'm going home. 10:42 p.m. So this is now basically 3 hours after the game ended. Home sweet home. Thank you so much for your concern. I appreciate all of you. Don't want to over dramatize this or make this about me. So please pray for all those still downtown, especially the innocent ones. As for me, I'm going to spend some quality time with my wife and kids. Then 11:43 p.m., I've been home for an hour and I haven't watched one single hockey highlight or interview. I'm riveted by the news footage of the police and the crowds. Wow. It was crazy. It was sad. What was sad was just 16 months earlier, the February 2020, the Winter Olympics. February 2010, the Winter Olympics. We were the toast of the town, so to speak. Everyone around the world saw how beautiful, how clean, how friendly, how jubilant, how excited Canadians were, how excited Vancouverites were to host such a beautiful event in the Winter Olympics. And then a mere 16 months later, now they're seeing our city on fire. They are seeing places being destroyed, vandalized, people stealing things, people not showing any regard or any respect for the law. It was a crazy, crazy scene. And thankfully, I was able, because like I said, where my office was, I was able to kind of get to my car, get to my office, and then escape by that side of downtown, the east side, so to speak, by the Cambie Street Bridge. Now, while the riots gained notoriety on every station, CNN, Fox, CBS, ABC, NBC, CBC, CTV, Global, everyone was covering it the night before. What the world didn't really learn about was the next day when I drove downtown early in the morning. It was like a ghost town, yet there are hundreds of people outside, including myself, who I did a little bit, didn't do a lot, who came downtown to sweep, to scrub, to wash, to clean, to pick up garbage and litter. Or what about the people who stood amongst the crowd the night before, amidst all the chaos happening around them? Some of them holding back looters, some of them fighting off vandals, basically being in the line of fire, protecting businesses, restaurants, even our cathedral. You know, those people the night before, and even the people the next morning, is they made the unpopular choice. They made a very difficult choice to be in the minority, to be in the line of ridicule, to literally be in the line of fire. And yeah, it was sad that while all the rioting and fighting made and disruption made the news the night before, hardly any of those stations that I mentioned, a few did, but certainly not as much media coverage the next day to honor the hundreds of people who came down on their own time to like I said, to help clean up the city. So looking back 10 years later, I'd like to say that the ones that caused all the problems downtown, they were not real fans. Those were people that were going to go downtown, go to that viewing party with 200,000 people, and they were going to cause a ruckus. They were going to be mischievous no matter what happened. If the Canucks won, they were going to do the same thing. The Canucks lost, we saw what they did. I truly think those were not Canucks fans. Those were not hockey fans. I'm sure a few of them were, but the majority of them weren't. They were troublemakers, and they wanted to have their moment. They wanted to have their fun. And I really hope that we've learned from it. And, you know, God willing, that the Canucks do win a Stanley Cup in my lifetime, in your lifetime, and we're able to celebrate that we've learned from, all of our experiences, 94 and 2011, and that we will be able to celebrate responsibly. if we win, and especially if we end up losing again. It's just such a black eye. People still make fun of us to this day, 10 years later. It drives me crazy. And, the only way that we're going to eradicate that or get rid of those funny feelings or what people say about us is if we show that we can celebrate responsibly. Whether, I guess that's a Vancouver Canucks Stanley Cup appearance or another major sporting or social or cultural event in our city. So thanks for if you made it this far. Thank you for getting this far, and thank you for letting me share a little bit of my memories of 10 years ago. I didn't talk about any single play on the ice because what was more riveting, is more etched in my memory is, of course, the aftermath and what was happening on our streets as opposed to what was happening inside the arena. So if you have your own comments, your own reflections, or if you want to share any reaction to anything that I said, please leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply. I love reading all your comments, and I appreciate the time that it takes you to watch these videos and to leave a comment down below. While you're here, subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to become a member of this channel if you'd like to. And I want to give a shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Justin Credible, Nux Fan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shea Family Channel, JV Sports Talk and more, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thank you for your support as always. And thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video description. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. So once again, thanks for watching. Thank you for letting me share a few of my insights and memories from 10 years ago today. And leave a comment. I love to hear what you have to say, your memories, your recollections, or any reaction to what I had to share with you just now. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.